this is as close as you're gonna get to me today because I'm looking rough. I drank a lot of wine at Bongo's Bingo last night and yelled a lot, which is why my voice sounds like I've smoked a pack a day for 25 years. And also why I didn't update last night because I got back to the hotel around midnight, which is not really that late, but drank like almost a full bottle of wine. I don't drink a lot normally, so that is a lot of wine for me. But it was a super fun night. I had a great time. I know it looks like I didn't take off my makeup at all. I took off most of it. I just had this waterproof eyeliner that is very hard to get off without a cleansing balm. And in my inebriated state, I could not find my cleansing balm for the life of me. So I just took everything else off and left the rest of my eyeliner where it is. So that is what we're dealing with this morning. I booked tickets today to go to Kew Gardens. That's one of the places that I have yet to go. And I wanted to wait to book the tickets until today because I wanted to see how I was feeling today. And overall, I'm not feeling terrible. I have a little bit of a headache. Obviously, my voice is not great. And I'm feeling a little nauseous, but I feel like some greasy fast food breakfast will fix that right up for me. So we're gonna go grab a McDonald's breakfast this morning and see if that does the trick like I think it will. That's what has worked for me in the past at home, so hopefully it does here as well. As for the rest of today, the only concrete thing I have planned is going to Kew Gardens. After that, the only other thing I really need to do is just get my stuff packed up, figure out how I'm going to transport everything I bought back home. I will film a haul portion of this video before I pack everything away. I do need to run out and grab a couple more things, and other than that, depending on how I feel later, I may go and just wander around the South Bank. I like just walking around there. It's supposed to be pretty nice today. It's supposed to be like in the 80s, so a little warm, but not too warm. So we have some good weather on my last day in London. It is only about 7 a.m. right now. It's still very early. Kew doesn't even open until 10 a.m. So I'm gonna get myself together and get ready to go get some breakfast. Because not only am I a little nauseous, I am starving. Let's go get some greasy breakfast to appease the hangover gods. Checking back in, it is now about 10:30. My voice is sounding better, which is good. The McDonald's that I went to was to go only, so there wasn't a table to sit at and eat. So I went to a park and just sat in the park and ate my breakfast while listening to a podcast. Then, because I got coffee with my breakfast, I didn't really feel like going to another coffee shop, so I just came back to my hotel and put the finishing touches on my video here. And I have now scheduled my video so that it will go live at the correct time. So with the video scheduling and editing out of the way, now I can get ready to go enjoy the rest of my day. It's supposed to start getting warm pretty soon, so I want to go ahead and get out and about before it gets too warm outside. And yeah, and I will check in with you guys a bit later. now. It is later now. It is about 6 p.m. on my last day in London. So the trip is coming to a close. So I think I'm just going to do a little bit of walking around, some last minute sightseeing to end off the day, end off the trip, all of that stuff. There are a couple of like odds and ends that I want to run out and buy before I leave. So I will also be picking those up while I'm out. So right now I'm going to pop up to around Oxford Circus area and do a couple things up there before taking a nice little relaxing evening stroll around Trafalgar Square and through St. Paul's to end my night. And yeah, so let's enjoy this last sunny evening in London. Alrighty, good evening everyone. It is much later now. It is about 10:15 and I have just started trying to get my stuff all together and packed up so that I can head home tomorrow. For this last check-in and wrap up, I just wanted to enjoy the view with you one last time. And since I am packing everything up right now, I also wanted to go through all of the things that I bought while I was here. It is a hefty list. It is a long list. There's quite a bit that I bought here. Not all of it's for me. A good chunk of it is, like, don't get me wrong, a good chunk of this stuff is just for me and me alone, but some of the stuff is for other people, gifts for other people, things that people requested that I bring back for them. So there's a bit of a mix here. So the first thing we'll start with is I'm just gonna go ahead and show you all of the books that I bought. These first two books are actually books that I bought signed copies of that one of my friends here in London has been holding for me for far too long, and I was finally able to get them from him, and they will now be making their way home with me. So the first one is Not the Type by Camilla Thurlow. So if there are any Love Island fans among us, you will recognize Camilla. She is from season 4 of Love Island, I believe. She is by far my favorite Islander that has ever been on the show. I loved her. I loved Jamie. They're adorable. They're married with 2 kids now. And before she went on the show, she worked as a bomb defusal expert. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. Hence the uniform she's wearing on the front. I ordered a signed copy from Waterstones literally like 2 years ago when it came out. Let me look at the publication date. Yeah, so this was published in 2020. So my friend has been holding on to it for me for about 3 years. And so I finally picked it up from him.
The next one he was holding on to for me was a more history related book, and it is Power and Thrones by Dan Jones. And this is about the Middle Ages in Europe. So this covers like the Knights Templar and a bunch of other stuff. Dan Jones is one of my favorite historians, so when this came out last year, I wanted the signed copy, obviously. And another reason why I wanted this specific copy and not one from the US is because I just like the cover of this one a lot more. The one in the US has like the chest plate of a knight and he's like holding a sword, and it just feels kind of gimmicky to me. I know that they did that probably to sell more books because Americans are fascinated with anything to do with like knights and kingdoms and stuff. But I really wanted this cover with the autograph in it, so my friend so graciously went and picked it up for me and has been holding on to it for me as well. So those are the two books that have been waiting for me in London for a very long time. Then I also bought 5 more paperback books at various bookshops around London. So as you would have seen earlier in this trip, I did a bookish day out in London with my friend Kaylin, and we went to 2 different bookstores. We went to Daunt in Marylebone, and we also went to Foyles, that is near Tottenham Court Road / Oxford Street. I did buy books at both places. At Daunt, I bought Before the Coffee Gets Cold. This is a book that I have wanted to read for a long time, and when I have seen books by this author out and about in the US, I've seen other books, but I've never come across this one out in the wild. So I took that as a sign that I needed to buy it now because this was the first time that I had seen it out and about. So I picked that one up. Then the next book that I picked up was The Mystery of Henry Pick. This is one that I picked solely based on the cover and the little blurb on the inside sleeve. So I have no preconceived notions about this book whatsoever, other than it is a murder mystery. So it has these little info panels on the back. Focus, please, focus on me. Hello. Hi. So it has these little info panels on the back to tell you where the book was made, what category it's in, and the kind of themes that it contains. So this one was made in France. The category is a whodunit mystery, which is one of my favorite genres, as is well established on this channel. And this book contains themes of Paris, intrigue, and desire. This just seemed like a really fun and unique read, so I decided to pick it up, and we will see how I get on with it when I get around to reading it. And the last book that I found at Dawn was one that I had seen advertised in the tube in the first few days that I was here, and it piqued my interest, particularly because of the author, and that is The Satsuma Complex by Bob Mortimer. So for people who aren't as into British pop culture or comedians as I am, Bob Mortimer is a very funny comedian. He's been on several of the panel shows that I watch, and specifically he's fairly well known, as far as I know, for going on to a show called Would I Lie to You and telling the most ridiculous stories. And he's just a very funny person. He is a great storyteller, and I've had his autobiography on my TBR as well for quite a while. And when I saw his name on this book as well, I had to pick it up. I had to see what it was about, and I probably will try to see if I can find an audio version of this book, specifically if he's the one that's reading it. If it's narrated by someone else, I don't think I'll probably go for the audiobook option, but if Bob Mortimer is also narrating this book, I definitely want to listen to the audio version because he just has this really funny way of delivering a story, and something about like the cadence of his speaking and the emphasis that he puts on certain words with his Middlesbrough accent. It's just so funny, and it makes me laugh so hard, and I have high hopes that this book is going to be just as fun and funny as Bob himself. Okay, and those are the 3 books that I got from Daunt. Since we are talking about Daunt, I also got this tote bag that just has the inside of the store printed on it, as well as the name and the address, and I just thought it was so cute. It was only 10 pounds, so not very expensive. Sometimes totes at different places can go as high as like 20 pounds, and like that's a little much in my opinion for just like a canvas tote, but 10 pounds was definitely something that I thought was reasonable. And this was also the less expensive design of the tote bags that they had, but I really liked that this one had the inside of the store on it. The other one had the storefront printed on it, and it was pretty. And you could tell it was a higher quality like canvas material. It was a thicker material, but I just really liked the image on this tote specifically, so I went ahead and picked this up. Before we move on to the books that I got at Foyles, Kaylin and I also went to another bookshop on a different day that was on a houseboat in Regent's Canal, and that was Word on the Water. And I also got a tote bag from there. Yeah, so this is what the tote bag looks like. It just says Word on the Water, the London Book Barge. And then on the other side, it just has the book barge on it. And I just thought it was so cute. I didn't buy any books from this bookstore because at that point I had already bought 5 between foils and Daunt, plus the 2 that my friend was bringing back for me. I was getting a little nervous about like the weight of my bags and the books that I was buying. So I decided just to get this canvas tote instead. So at Foils, I got 2 books. The first one I got was The Thursday Murder Club by Richard Osmond. And Richard Osmond is another television presenter, comedian type person who frequents the comedy panel shows that I like to watch. And he put out this book a couple years ago. This is the first book in a series, and it is essentially, from what I understand, a group of pensioners, as they call them here in the UK, but just a group of retired friends who get together on Thursdays and talk about unsolved crimes and see if they can figure it out. So this book centers on that group of people, and I've heard really good things about this book, and this is another one that I have seen related books out in the wild. So I've seen like the second one and the third one. I think there's 3 out right now. I've seen other ones in this series out and about, but I have yet to find this one. So since I saw this out in the wild and it was the first time that I had seen it, I decided to go ahead and buy this one as well. The second and last book that I got at Foils was Testament of Youth. So this is a book that I have not read, but that we spoke briefly of in one of my master's classes. This is essentially an autobiography that was written by a woman who was a nurse in World War I. I don't know particularly much about what happens in this book, what she talks about, the details that she goes into, but I know that it is a very highly regarded book, and I know that it is a book with a lot of cultural significance. I believe it's been made into a movie, or maybe the movie doesn't necessarily have much to do with this book, it just has the same name. I just know that there's a movie called Testament of Youth as well. So I saw this in the history section and it just kind of called to me, and so I decided to go ahead and pick that up as well. I guess I'm starting to get a bit of a World War I collection, which is interesting considering that's not an area of history that I was ever particularly interested in. But I do have All Quiet on the Western Front as well that I was wanting to read. So I guess I'll add this to a growing World War I collection that I'm apparently starting to amass. I did go a little bit wild with the tote bags while I was here. I just kept seeing so many really cute ones and I got sucked in, and I have bought several totes. And I also came with a tote as well. I came with my Book of the Month tote, which served me so well during this trip. I'm so glad that I decided to bring that. It was so much better than just carrying around my purse the entire time. So much more comfortable, so much more versatile. When I was out shopping and stuff, if I bought something, I could just put it in the tote with the rest of my stuff. It was a great call. Though I did buy several totes, one of these totes was not actually for me. I did think about going back and getting one for myself as well, but I didn't. I controlled myself a little bit. One of my friends requested a Harry Styles tote from Camden Market. And for those that don't know, Camden Market has a lot of unofficial Harry Styles merch. So there were plenty to choose from. She ended up picking out this really cute Harry's House one. It just has the track lists from Harry's House, and it has this really cute like diner menu kind of design. And I do really like this design a lot. I would have gotten it on a t-shirt if they would have had t-shirts in literally any other color but white. I don't wear white t-shirts. I'm too messy. I brush up against things and spill things on myself, so white t-shirts are just not for me. If they would have had it in like a gray, I would have thought about getting one. I did think about going back and getting the tote for myself as well, but I found other totes that I wanted, so I compromised and just got this one for my friend and got the other totes for myself. But yeah, so this is another tote that I got. Then today, while I was visiting Kew Gardens, I found another tote. This one was only £6, so it made it very hard for me to say no, but it is this cute little bookish botanical bag. And all of the spines on these books either have to do with Kew Gardens itself or with plants in general. Then on this side it just says Kew Royal Botanic Gardens. So I just thought that was so cute. It was really well priced, so I had to buy it. Also at Kew today I got a couple other things, some smaller things, but I did get a couple other things as well. One of the last things I got before I left Kew was this Witch's Garden book. I just thought it was so cool, and it was really pretty on the inside with all of the different like botanic sketches and stuff. And it's just a book about plants in folklore, magic, and traditional medical practices. I almost didn't get it because it was £15, but it's just such a pretty book. It's so aesthetic and it has very interesting content, and it's published specifically by Kew Gardens. So all of those things made me go back and get it at the end of my trip there. Then the last things that I got from Kew were, I picked up this little Freddie Mercury card. It was on sale. I believe it was marked down to like £1.50, and it was just so cool looking. and I love Queen, so I bought that as well. They had postcards 3 for £2.50, I believe. So I got 3 postcards as well. One of these classic underground sign looking ones about Kew Gardens. I really liked the foliage and the tree in the background. Then I also got this other retro underground poster design that has roses on it. And the last one I got was just these little bees of Kew Garden. I love bees. I love to watch them like roll around inside a flower. I think it's so cute. So when I saw this little postcard with all of these cute little bees on it, I had to buy it. I don't know if I've said this before on here or not, but I do collect postcards. That is the big travel souvenir that I like to buy every time I go to a new city. They're really lightweight. They're usually pretty cheap. These ones were more expensive than I normally would like to pay for postcards, but I decided to just cave and just buy them because they are very pretty and unique postcards. So these will be added to my postcard collection as soon as I am back in the States. Okay, and now for the Harry Potter themed things. So I have quite a few friends who are very into Harry Potter, and I promised that I would get them some souvenirs. My initial plan was to go to the Primark on Tottenham Court Road because when I lived here in 2017, 2018, they had a huge Harry Potter section. They had basically a whole section of the store that had its own entrance that was completely decked out with a ton of Harry Potter stuff. Like anything you could think of: clothing, pajamas, purses, wallets, backpacks, bedding, blankets, pillows, everything. Like they had such a good selection, and so I was going to go there, and that's where I was going to get the majority of the souvenirs for my friends. However, when I got there, that whole section and along with other parts of the store were completely redone, and the Harry Potter section was no more. So after asking some people that worked there what happened to the Harry Potter section, they told me that during the pandemic they pretty much shut down production of the Harry Potter stuff. I believe they said it had to do with like how difficult it was for shipping and cutting down on production and stuff like that, and so that's why they did away with that section. So because of that, I had to do a bit more searching to find the things that my friends wanted. And even though Primark didn't have what I was looking for, there are so many Harry Potter themed stores in London, so it's not like I just didn't have anywhere else to go. Primark was just the most reasonably priced of the Harry Potter stores. I did end up finding things at other stores. I went to a store called Mina Lima, I believe that's what it's called, and got several things from there. Also, just the decoration on the inside was just really cool. The memorabilia that was in there was really cool to see. So I did get a few things from there. First of which was I got 2 of these mystery postcards. So these are like blind bags for little postcards and sketches and things like that. They also had several journals that were blank on the inside but looked like different textbooks and things from the Harry Potter movies. First one I got was this advanced potions book, and it has like the silver edging and all of that stuff. So I got 2 of those because I feel like this is the most recognizable one. I didn't get these for specific friends. I'm essentially just going to take these back and tell them that they can pick whichever ones they want. Then we have Dark Arts Defense, Basics for Beginners. We have the Beetle the Bard book cover. We have A History of Magic and Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. And because those aren't like specific house themed or character themed, I feel like those are some souvenirs that pretty much everyone would be happy with, and they weren't really overpriced. There were other stores selling blank journals similar to these ones, but they weren't as good of quality and they were far more expensive. These ones were about £14 each, and the other ones at other stores were going for like 15 to 20, and they were not like hardcovers or anything like that. They looked a little cheap, so I thought that these were the better option for what I wanted. Though I did still buy other things at the other Harry Potter stores. I got 2 pins. I got a golden snitch. I got this one that says, "I solemnly swear that I'm up to no good." And then the last thing that I got was, you guessed it, another tote. This one just has a bunch of different things from the Harry Potter universe. I just really enjoyed the color. I thought this was a good Harry Potter tote that's not like in your face Harry Potter. Like they had ones that were like the house crests or the Hogwarts crest or whatnot, but I just feel like those are a little like on the nose. I don't know if that makes any sense to anyone else, but it's just a little much in my opinion. I like things like this that are a bit more on the subtle side. Like if you saw this from far away, you wouldn't think that this was a Harry Potter bag until you got up close and you saw that there were like broomsticks and owls and things on it. The one Harry Potter thing I did find at Primark was just kind of randomly out and about, and I didn't see any more. Otherwise I would have gotten more of these for other people, but I could only find this one, and it was in good shape. So I decided to take it with me, and it's this little bath bomb. So it's a house reveal bath bomb. It's golden, obviously. It's golden, and it is the Hogwarts crest, and then it is a fizzy bath bomb, so you just drop it in your bath and it reveals a house color, I think. Yeah, I don't know how it reveals a house color. I don't know if there's like something inside that has a house crest on it, or if it just has like a certain color in the middle and that's how you know. But for £1.50, I thought I'd go ahead and get this and see what it was all about. The last Harry Potter thing that I got here was this little coin purse. And a thing about me is that my favorite magical creature in the Harry Potter universe is a niffler. I think nifflers are so cute. And if you don't know what a niffler is, they're the little, like, they kind of look like a cross between a hedgehog and a platypus. If you've seen Fantastic Beasts, they're the little black mischievous guy who just wants to steal all of the gold. And so he like runs around and he's like stealing things from people. And I just think that they are so cute. So when I saw this little coin purse had a niffler on it, I thought that that was really adorable. Then on the back side, it just says pouch used to store treasure. So I just thought that was very fitting for a coin purse that has a niffler on it. Okay, so let's go ahead and move into the stuff that I got from Primark. I did get some clothing, but I don't want to try it on right now. I am so tired. I have worn some of these clothes, so they are dirty. So I'm just gonna be holding them up when I show you the clothing, but we'll do the non-clothing things first. One of the first things that I found was this water bottle holder. It is a long strap with like a little koozie kind of thing to hold a water bottle. I have one of these for my big half-gallon jug. It came with it and it is so handy. I like just having my water bottle and being able to carry it around on my shoulder. It's so much more convenient. It's so much easier than having to physically hold a water bottle or get a purse that's big enough to put a water bottle inside. And it's a lot easier just to be able to have it on my shoulder rather than trying to keep track of a water bottle. But I only have one of those for my big half-gallon one. This one is significantly smaller so that it can fit my smaller water bottles. Yeah, so just for example, this is my 25-ounce Camelback water bottle. It has a little handle on the top, but it's not very convenient to carry around if you are out and about all day. It's fine for like going to work, sitting it on my desk, that kind of thing. But if I'm going out like to run errands or I'm going out shopping or something like that, I really don't want to just have to be carrying this around. Even though it's not a really big water bottle, it's still big enough to where it's too cumbersome to fit inside of my purse. So just put it in here and now I can carry it around. It's a little loose in here, but I mean, it serves its purpose. And I do think I will get a lot of use out of this sleeve. I think that it'll fit a lot of my other water bottles too, which is important as well. So yeah, that was one of the first things that I picked up. I also found this poster that's just, I don't even know if you can tell. Yeah, there we go. It's just like the silhouette of a woman, and I thought that this was so pretty. I really would like to frame this and put it up in my next apartment. Next, one of the more like practical things that I got while just perusing around was a shower cap. So I have a shower cap at home, but I use it when I bleach my hair. So it gets like really crusty, it gets discolored, it has bleach on it most of the time and I have to wash it off. So I've been thinking about getting another shower cap that is purely just for the purpose of showering when I don't want to wash my hair. Currently what I do is I just like tie my hair up in a bun and then I just try to avoid the shower head, but that's not always the easiest thing to do, especially when you are in a different bathroom that has a different shower setup. I thought this would be a good thing to have. I can bring it with me to the gym at work. I can bring it with me on vacations and I don't have to worry about it having dried bleach all over it. So that was why I picked up that one. Next up, I got these slippers. These are actually for my mom. She's had several pairs of these Primark memory foam slippers before and asked if I would pick her up another pair while I was here. So I found these for her. And yeah, not much else to say other than they're slippers. I also did buy these slides for myself. When I cut the heel of my foot, I didn't have good shoes for walking around that didn't rub on my heel. I had my Birkenstock style shoes, but those are not the softest of soles. Actually, they're not soft at all. That's the understatement of the century. They have like literally no padding to them at all, basically. And so when I saw that they had these like foamy, comfy slides at Primark, I decided to pick up a pair because I was in desperate need of shoes that didn't rub on the cut on my heel. So these were just a purchase of necessity, honestly. And I wore them for the first couple days that I was here. And then once my heels started feeling better to where I could wear my Vans to walk around, I stopped wearing these. But I am bringing them home with me anyway because they would be great for just running outside, taking Sadie out when she needs to go potty. They're going to be used no matter what. I bought a couple different light type things as well from Primark. I got these little rose lights. I just thought that they were really pretty. I thought that they would be cute. I don't have a particular plan of where I'm going to hang them or anything yet, but I can definitely find a place to hang them up for a little more aesthetic value. Next, I got these little indoor strip lights. It's one of those things where like, you never know when you're gonna need some strip lights to light up underneath counters or something like that. Not these specific ones, but I did have something similar in my old apartment because there were places like above my sink where I would have liked to have some light that there were not any pre-existing lights. And since I was renting, it's not like I could just put in some new lighting. So things like this come in handy for situations like that. Then I found this cute little mushroom lamp. I have a friend that is very into mushrooms right now, so I thought that this would be a cute little thing to bring back for her to add to her little mushroom collection. They had a whole Bridgerton collection area in Primark, and I found these Bridgerton themed stickers, so I bought myself and my friend a pack of these stickers. Primark has some really good reusable bags that fold up into a little sack, and my mom did ask if I saw any to get her some more, so I found these two. This one is just general Disney themed, has Mickey, Minnie, Goofy, the whole gang, and then this one is Lilo and Stitch themed and has Stitch on it. Primark also does really good home scents, I guess you could call them. They do oil diffusers, they have candles, they have room sachets, all of that stuff. I didn't get any oil diffusers this time. I have gotten them in the past, but I did get 2 of the scent sachets. I got jasmine and eucalyptus, and then this one is fresh linen. And these are great just to toss in my closet or really any room that's smelling a bit musty. They had a ton more scents, but I didn't want to go too crazy, so I just got these 2. All right, now moving on into the accessory range. I got this pack of rings. I am definitely more of a silver person than a gold person, so thought that these silver rings would get some wear out of them. I do enjoy wearing rings, and I like to mix up the rings that I wear on occasion, so thought that these would be fun to add to the rotation. Then I bought this blue satin hairband, I guess. It has it styled 4 different ways. On the front, it has someone with it around their neck, in their hair, that kind of thing. I do have this one in black, and so I just thought it would be fun to have a blue one as well. Then I also bought some claw clips in varying sizes. This one is a little bit smaller, and I actually had this exact hair clip with me, and I broke it putting my backpack into my trunk on the way to the airport. And then I just got these bigger claw clips as well that can actually hold all of my hair. They both came in packs of 2, but I don't know what I did with the other ones. They're somewhere in this room, but for the sake of time, this is what they look like. And just know that I have 2 more. Forgot to mention this earlier before I got into the Primark stuff, but I did also buy this toiletry bag from Boots. I thought it was a really cute summery print. I really like these toiletry bags that are see-through so that I can actually see what is in my bag. So I will definitely be using this when I pack up my bathroom stuff on the way home. This was £7. Okay, we are about to get into the clothing portion of this haul. I'm not going to try anything on in this video because it is already 11:15 and I am tired and need to get this stuff packed away as soon as possible. So don't really have time to be changing in and out of clothes. Also, I've been walking around sweating all day and don't really want to subject some of these clothes to that. So let's go ahead and get into that. I got this blue flowy tank top, which you would have seen me wear earlier this week. I have this blue button-down cropped shirt. I did get a couple shirts that were this similar style that I did wear earlier this week. I got it in white and I got it in pink as well. Those are buried deep in the dirty clothes, so you can just imagine I got this in pink and white as well. I also got this cropped shirt in black. It is similar to the blue one, you can't even see, but instead of it being fully buttoned down, it has like a little twist thing in the front that gives it a little special twist to it, I guess. Then I got this basic black bodysuit. I also got it in white as well, and I wore that to the Elton John concert. So you would have seen the white one already, also buried deeply in my dirty clothes right now, but this is the black version. Then I got this really pretty satin slip type dress. This is also from the Bridgerton collection, and even if it wasn't part of that collection, I think this print is so pretty, and it has a nice little slit on the side too. So thought that was super cute. I got this blue one that is basically the same blue as the first tank top that I showed, but it is just in long dress form. And this one also has the little slit on the side. Then I got this blue and white satiny slip dress. This one does not have a slit in the side, but it is still very pretty on. Next, I got this pretty florally white cotton type dress. I thought this would be very nice for spring/summer. And once again, It too has a slit. Next, I got these green wide leg trousers. I could definitely wear these to work. They're very comfortable, very flowy, and they have real pockets, which don't even get me started on women's dress pants that don't have pockets in them. It's ridiculous, and I don't understand why they don't have pockets, but these do, so I'm happy with that. And I also got them in this brown color as well, and you would have seen that I wore this yesterday to Bongo's Bingo. So these pants are not clean. Then I got this basic kind of an olive green kind of t-shirt dress that is a bit ribbed. And the last thing I got was this orange oversized blazer. I was a little on the fence about this one. I tried it on and I wasn't sure if the oversized look really worked for me. But after some feedback from some friends, they seemed to like it, so I decided to keep it. And now I can be like one of those girls that wears like a colorful blazer to brunch or happy hour. So that's fun. Oh, I also forgot to show that I did also get this running belt before I injured my foot, thinking that this would be great when I go on runs in London, but I didn't go on any runs in London. Even so, I still think that this is a pretty good running belt. It's nice and stretchy, it's elastic. All my other fanny packs that I use when I run are not elastic or stretchy, so they just kind of like bounce around while I'm running. I can't stand that when I run with a fanny pack on, so I'm hoping that this will help with that. I almost forgot that my first day here, I stumbled across a group of students that were selling different art pieces in Green Park, and I bought a couple pieces off of them. So the first one that I bought was this postcard. They told me what it meant and I forget exactly what they said, but I know that it has to do with springtime and flowers and things like that. At least that's what I think I remember. But I thought that the artwork was very pretty, and it is a postcard, so I can add it to my postcard collection, and it's something really unique. Then I also bought this cute little comic that's called Pigeon Odyssey, and it has a little Polaroid of a pigeon on the front. It is about the odyssey that a pigeon takes in Peckham in London, which when they told me it took place in Peckham, that really sold me on it because that is by where I used to live. So it felt like it was kind of meant to be. So I bought this off of them as well, and got to support some young artists in the city too. I did actually forget a couple things that I bought. So I got my nieces little necklaces with their names on them. So I thought that these would be really cute to give them and something that they could wear for years to come instead of just a stuffed animal that they may play with for a couple years, if that. So I thought that this was a better option overall. Then I bought this London pin. It just has like Big Ben, a double-decker bus, and a London black cab on it. And it was only like 3 or 4 pounds, something like that. Then when I was in Leeds, I bought a Leeds postcard because I do have one, but it's like an artist's sketch of the Corn Exchange in Leeds. I wanted one that had a bit more of the city on it, and so I decided to get this one. Then I also found this little enamel pin at a like book and game store, and it just has a book on it and it says "Books are magic." But yeah, so I think that is pretty much everything that I bought while I was here, aside from, you know, like the basics like food and water and stuff. So that is the end of my little haul. And now it's time to pack. The not fun part. Now I have to figure out how to get all of this stuff back to the US. So let's get to it. Let's stop stalling. Today is Sunday, June 11th, and it is time for me to go home, sadly. It is about 8:30 a.m. right now. I woke up around 6:37 and I have showered, I've washed my hair, packed all of my stuff away to a point where I think it'll be fine. We'll have to see when we get to Heathrow. As always, I had a fantastic time in London. I always enjoy being in the city, so this was no exception to that. And I hope you guys enjoyed coming along with me and seeing all the different things that I got up to in the 8-ish days I was in the UK. Now I'm just sitting here because I don't want to go. I'm being a little baby about it. So I have my big checked suitcase, which is right under 50 pounds. Then I have my little personal item, my backpack, and then I did have overflow of books and things, so they are in this tote bag. If they make me check this, that's fine, but maybe I can sneak on with this and be okay. That is the situation we have right now. Let's take one last look around, make sure I didn't forget anything, and then we'll be on our way. And we'll have to say goodbye to this beautiful view. So sad. Goodbye, London. You will be missed. Until next time. Alrighty, I think the room is pretty much clear. I don't think I'm forgetting anything, hopefully not. So yeah, let's go ahead and head to the airport.
Bye.